All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating, practically invisible mechanisms behind 10 different types of workouts and how they systematically upgrade your body from the inside out. Most people think they already have a pretty good handle on why they train. You lift weights to build muscle, you run for cardio, you do yoga to get flexible. It sounds incredibly simple, right? But the absolute strangest part about exercise is that the biggest reward often has absolutely nothing to do with the reason you started in the first place. So be honest for a second. Why do you actually hit the gym or hit the pavement? Most of us think we're training just to look a little better or burn off some calories today. But the true rewards? Those actually show up decades from now. The real advantage appears in your brain, in your stress response, and in that weird, totally unexpected moment when a heavy bag of groceries suddenly feels incredibly light. Once you see what each workout is secretly changing beneath the surface, I guarantee you'll stop choosing your exercise based only on immediate gratification. Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the real purpose behind all this movement, building your physical armor, upgrading your internal engine, rewiring your brain under stress, and finally, the ultimate longevity habit. Let's jump right into Section 1, the real purpose, which is really all about solving future problems. You see, the biggest advantage of a workout isn't actually what you see in the mirror today. It's not about fitting into a specific shirt for a weekend party. It's about quietly, systematically building resilience for the version of you that's going to be walking around 20 years from now. The real, hidden superpower of literally any workout is that it protects the future you, the you that still wants freedom and independence decades down the line. It's solving a problem your future self hasn't even met yet. Moving right along to Section 2, building your physical armor. We're talking about upgrading your literal skeleton. Think about weightlifting. The crucial point here isn't just about getting bigger biceps or flexing for the camera. It's about this invisible structural confidence you start to carry around with you. It's the reason why suddenly lugging a massive suitcase or carrying all the groceries from the car in one single trip feels ridiculously easy. Yes, lifting builds metabolically expensive muscle tissue, which is great. But it also drastically improves your glucose control, making your body incredibly efficient at just sweeping sugar right out of your bloodstream. But the magic goes even deeper than that. When you send force through your skeleton, like with every heavy squat, shoulder press, or deadlift, you are literally packing armor into the exact places that matter most as we age. Your body feels the mechanical stress of lifting heavy things, and it answers that stress by rebuilding the skeleton to be physically stronger. Now, what if we ditch the iron and just use gravity? With calisthenics, your push-ups, pull-ups, that sort of thing, you're not just moving dead weight anymore. You're building this profound full-body coordination. Every single rep forces different muscle groups to talk to each other. It builds this incredible body awareness in space. And that is exactly the kind of movement intelligence that actually stops you from falling when you slip on an icy sidewalk. It's a real-world survival skill that perfectly isolated machines at the gym completely miss. All right, Section 3, upgrading your internal engine. Let's talk about energy and efficiency. Look, if you know a runner, you know they absolutely love to talk about running. But the real magic isn't the calorie burn or even testing their willpower. Have you ever noticed how runners just seem to move through daily life feeling physically lighter? Well, that's not because their lives got any easier. It's because their internal engine just got a massive upgrade. Every single run literally trains the heart to pump more blood with significantly less effort. And deep down inside your cells, something totally phenomenal is happening. You're actually multiplying your mitochondria, these tiny little cellular energy factories. Because of this quiet multiplication, your resting heart rate drops, walking up a flight of stairs stops feeling like a dramatic event, and you build a true, undeniable longevity engine. Your body just becomes vastly better at turning oxygen into usable energy. But hey, maybe running totally punishes your knees. I get it. That's where cycling and swimming step in as your ultimate low-impact cheat codes. Cycling forces your body to make constant, tiny micro-adjustments just to stay balanced, which really sharpens your coordination. And swimming? It puts you in a completely zero-impact environment where you get full-body resistance combined with a deeply calming reset for your nervous system. Now let's swing over to the exact opposite end of the spectrum, high-intensity interval training, or CrossFit. By forcing multiple body systems to work at absolute maximum effort all at once, and then forcing them to recover fast, you build incredible work capacity. You're building a metabolic resilience that makes handling a chaotic, wildly draining day at the office feel like a walk in the park. You're actively teaching your physiology how to switch from maximum panic straight back to baseline control. So, thinking back to this quote, the biggest advantage might be solving a problem your future self hasn't met yet. This perfectly captures why we have to stop viewing exercise as some kind of short-term punishment for what we ate yesterday and start viewing it as long-term preparation. Whether you're packing on bone density or building mitochondrial efficiency, you are making massive investments that are going to pay out over decades. Which brings us to Section 4, Rewiring Your Brain Under Stress. Let's look at the mental upgrades. Take yoga, for example. Sure, the flexibility is fantastic, but at its core, yoga is basically a nervous system reset button. It literally teaches your body how to rapidly calm down and absorb everyday frustrations without panicking. That slow, controlled breathing tells your brain that the threat is officially over, instantly shifting you out of that toxic fight-or-flight state and dropping you directly into recovery mode. On the flip side, what about aggressive or fear-inducing sports? Think kickboxing or rock climbing. These actually strip away all the mental static of your day, leaving you with this razor-sharp presence. Kickboxing demands that your brain and body sync up at lightning speed, creating a clean, healthy outlet for tension. And rock climbing? It forces you to make fast, strategic decisions while you are under immense physical and psychological fear. That builds genuine, hard-earned confidence, not just the fake kind. And speaking of climbing, there's this wildly fascinating biological side effect. While climbers think they're just obsessing over how to hold onto a tiny, terrible little rock on a wall, they are secretly training one of the absolute greatest biological markers for long-term physical independence, their grip strength. It's basically an incredible two-for-one deal, where you get to practice managing fear while simultaneously building serious physical capability. Finally, we reach Section 5, the ultimate longevity habit, the sheer power of consistency. Because the barrier to entry is literally just putting one foot in front of the other. Walking survives real life better than any complex fitness plan ever could. People write it off, right? They think, oh, it's boring, I'm just getting my step count in. But the reality is that its true power lies in its unbeatable adherence. It is the ultimate tool for consistency, no matter how chaotic your schedule gets. Think about it. A simple walk after a meal does so much more than just clear your head. It literally pulls glucose straight out of your bloodstream for way steadier energy. It increases blood flow and drops bodily stiffness without adding any extra fatigue to your nervous system. It's rhythmic, low-intensity movement that acts like a broom sweeping away mental clutter. Ultimately, it's the one habit that absolutely refuses to collapse when your life gets messy. Because here is the absolute truth. The best workout is the one you can still do decades later. Over the long haul, unbreakable consistency is always going to beat temporary crash-and-burn intensity. The biggest reward of movement is rarely the obvious one you started with, because every single workout style is secretly solving a totally different problem for your future self. So, I'm going to leave you with this one vital question to chew on. Are you training just for the body you want today, or are you training for the life you still want to have 20 years from now? Something to ponder before you pick your next workout. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep moving, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time as we keep unpacking the hidden mechanics behind the things we do every single day.